What's up, guys? I'm Mike D'Antonio, founder and CEO of StockedUp. Welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. We have a very exciting episode for you guys here today. In this episode, we're going to be covering everything that happened in the stock market today. We're going to be talking about an over $41 million options trade that expires in a couple days. We have a lot of important news regarding banks, TikTok, and Twitter. And then at the end of the video, we're going to be covering all the top plays that we are watching for this week in the stock market. So overall, thank you guys so much for everyone who's been supporting the channel. We're almost at 20,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for everyone who's been hitting that like button, subscribing, and commenting. If you guys want to see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage every single day, don't forget to subscribe. Other than that, Tom, let's jump right into it. What happened in the stock market today?
Yeah, there was some crazy moves today on Microsoft and Apple both. Microsoft did end up going up and filled this nice gap and ended up at record highs, which is amazing for Apple, Microsoft, all-time highs. Great intraday chart on them. Me and Mike kind of saw this coming with the rises on Amazon and the other tech stocks lately as well. We really thought that Microsoft would go up as well. It's just one of those stocks that was kind of lagging behind. So we thought that they would also hit all-time highs. And, they went ahead and did that today, which was nice to see. I think that we called this out in Friday's video, didn't we?
No, it was actually yesterday's video.
Okay, Sunday's video. So, yeah, we called it out yesterday. And, it had an amazing move in pre-market and an amazing move once the market opened. It just went up all day. It was an amazing thing to see. Apple did the same thing, except they kind of fell down towards the end of the day. But they still had an amazing pop on open as well, and definitely was way higher than Friday.
Yeah, so Apple definitely outperformed Microsoft on Friday because Apple is up about 10.5%, and then Microsoft is only up about 0.5%. So we're just kind of seeing Microsoft and Apple kind of move like back to their normal. I don't want to say equilibrium because they are not one-to-one correlated, but they tend to move together. So they're kind of just catching up right now. And then didn't Microsoft have some news with TikTok?
Yeah, Microsoft actually has came out and said that they would actually go ahead and purchase TikTok, and President Trump actually gave them permission to do this. And then Trump came out today and said that he actually wanted Microsoft to go ahead and pay for that.
Yeah, so pretty much what happened and everything with TikTok right now is Trump came out and said, hey, I'm looking to ban TikTok because, they might be stealing Americans' data, blah, blah, blah. He saw it as a security concern, right? And then Microsoft's like, hey, well, we want to buy TikTok. And then Trump's like, you know what? Okay, that's fine. You guys can buy TikTok or even just another US-based company. He just doesn't want other countries having access to all of the data that apps like TikTok have access to. So he's like, you know what? Microsoft, if you want to buy TikTok, fine. If another US company wants to buy TikTok, fine. But either way, whoever buys it, the US government should get a slice of that deal. So he pretty much said, Microsoft, originally, I wanted TikTok banned, but you know what? You guys could buy them, and if you do, the U.S. government should get should have some part of the deal, whether it be like just like a cash, like I don't want to say bonus, but just like cash on the side or whatever. Trump just wants a part of that deal for the government. So he also
that makes a lot of sense because a lot of these companies, of course, the government would need a slice of this because really he could just ban it. Like he could just decide tomorrow, like, I decided I decided it's against U.S. security interests, so I'm just going to ban it. Like he could just do that tomorrow if he wants.
Right. And I think that's why he really wanted a slice of the pie is because he said that he is, he's allowing the deal to go through. So that's just news with TikTok and, Microsoft. And the only reason we bring this up is because Microsoft really popped pretty big today, and part of that was due to TikTok news. So
I think that they will continue that trend too if they do end up acquiring TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. TikTok is definitely one of those one of the apps that have really exploded in the past couple of years, and Microsoft is a powerhouse to begin with. So I think that could be great for Microsoft overall. And then what happened with banks today, Tom, or bank news?
Yeah, banks, it was actually pretty crazy today with banks. They're actually tightening lending standards across the board. even though they're being urged to get money to those people who have been hit by the coronavirus. So it's kind of crazy to see that. And we did see bank stocks kind of end up flat today. But the thing is that the federal government, they've been pressuring the banks to go ahead and give people loans if your credit's not as good right now, because obviously you've been hit harder from the virus. But really the banks are tightening up, and it looks like they're really making it to where people with lower credit scores, they're going to make it a lot harder to get loans, and they're going to make it, credit not as readily available to those types of people.
Yeah, and I think, we all know that interest rates are pretty low right now. And, when interest rates are low, it spurs activity. It encourages people to get those loans, to buy that house, to, just take money into the market and, do whatever. And by banks tightening, I feel like, I don't think that's going to crash the market or anything, but I think it's a pretty negative effect. And I think, what this can really be telling us is, are banks seeing something with the economy that no one else is seeing? Like, why are they tightening these lending standards? Are people over leveraged? Like, I'm just trying to think, like trying to read behind the lines or read through the lines, you could say.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I couldn't imagine why they're doing it either, but really, I mean, I would guess, loan officers and a lot of people who are in that field, go ahead and leave some comments below and let us know, because I know a lot of you guys are in the financial industry. And if you guys are seeing some, let us know, because it would definitely be a good thing for us to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys know more about why they might be tightening these lending standards, make sure you let us know in the comments down below. So good call, Tom. And then what happened with the Twitter news?
Yeah, Twitter, actually, it's pretty crazy. They're going to have to pay or possibly pay a $250 $250 million FTC fine. And this is pretty crazy, because really what happened was that the government went ahead and launched an investigation into Twitter whenever that July 15th Bitcoin scam security breach happened. And they ended up finding out that between 2013 and 2019, Twitter actually, had a big breach on customers' phone numbers and emails that were provided for safety security purposes. And this really helped, ad targeting and stuff. But it really was bad, because they were giving away a lot of info, and that's bad for Twitter. And apparently they're going to get fined up to $250 million if this ends up going through.
Yeah, so basically they were misusing emails and phone numbers, blah, blah, blah. The FTC started to investigate them because of the recent Bitcoin scam. So obviously $250 million is a large amount, but Twitter is, a multi-billion-dollar company, but still it's negative news, and you would think that Twitter would fall off of this. But on a side note, I just found out today that behind the Twitter Bitcoin scam, it was actually a 19-year-old kid who got away with that. So they ended up.
Did he actually get away with it?
Well, no, he didn't get away with it, but he got caught. But he was 19 years old.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. I mean, some of these people nowadays are pretty smart, Mike. I mean, as me and of course, I mean, our younger generation, a lot of us, whenever we get into a lot of tech stuff, I mean, you can get pretty smart with that stuff.
Yeah, the news article I was reading said he went from hacking and scamming people on Minecraft to hacking Twitter and Elon Musk and Apple and Uber's accounts.
And I'm glad I wasn't playing Minecraft whenever he was playing.
Right. So yeah. I mean, I thought that was just interesting news. So now for today's member of the day, or I should actually say members of the day. So today's Discord members of the day is RS and Ronnie. So they are in the StockedUp stat modeling Discord chat. They were rifling out plays all day, sharing a lot of great information, working together great as a team, and really just helping the overall Discord community. So shout out to RS and Ronnie with the great job today with all the great plays, and then, helping the new members and everything like that. So shout out to you guys. So now for the momentum plays for tomorrow, and the first stock we're looking at is Microsoft with over a 5% update today. Tom, what levels should we be watching?
Just go ahead and watch for Microsoft. I would just watch for a break above 218.
Yep, if it breaks above 218, we will be eyeing Microsoft in a bullish sense. With the next play, we have Workhorse WKHS. They had a really big run up in after hours, but they're looking to die down right now. So what levels should we be watching?
This is a pretty low price stock. Go ahead and watch for them to pop above 20.75.
Yep. Again, to the bullish side. And then we have CRM.
Salesforce, watch for them to pop above 205.
Yep. And then last but not least, we have Zoom, ZM.
Zoom, the big one since the viruses came out. Watch for the high of 271.10.
Yep. So all these plays are potentially to the upside, but only if they break above the levels we list. So now for the $41 million options trade that expires this week, August 7th. We are eyeing the Apple 450 strike calls that expire this week, August 7th. There was a total of about $41 million put into this play today. And, we're looking at the 450 strike calls. And, part of me thinks that the big money behind this trade is shorting these calls. Like, I'm not one to bet against Apple, but, they had such a huge run up. And considering these options are $15 out of the money, it really looks like whoever's trading this options trade is shorting them. So, guys, what that means is do not just buy the Apple 450 strike calls. Because just like stocks, with options, you could either buy options or you could short them. If you short them, you want the option to go down. And right now, it really looks like they have shorted these options. So in regards to this catalyst, you could say with the Apple 450 strike calls, can Apple be a good play to the upside? Absolutely, it can be, but I think you just have to eye it out. It's way too early to tell right now. They have some big support around $435, but overall, I definitely would not just jump in blindly on Apple calls. I really think you have to kind of just gauge the momentum because there is, in my eyes, a very high probability that the big money behind this trade is actually shorting these options. And I say that because, look, we're talking about weekly options. The entire price of the option it's all time decay. There's no real value to the Apple 450 strike calls. Right now, they're going for about $300 each, and there's no value to those options. Typically, when big money buys into options, they typically buy, at least at the money, if not in the money. And these are pretty far out of the money. They're $15 out of the money. So just be careful with Apple. If anything, I would say, you just have to eye it out. If it's showing upwards momentum tomorrow, then the calls can be good. But if not, I would just stay away. So with that being said, now for the comments from the previous episode. And we have Navarre saying, hey guys, what do you think about JMIA? I've been in on it for about 2 weeks, and I've been doing amazing with it. I wonder if it will keep going up much further. So JMIA, let's take a look. They definitely had an amazing uptrend for the past couple weeks, past couple months, actually. They went from about, I would say about $5 to $21 in about a month. So overall, they're doing really well. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, I love this move to the upside. It looks like they closed at their high again, which is amazing. On an intraday chart, they're not bleeding off in after hours. They're actually looking pretty liquid, at least in after hours. A lot of movement anyways, and that's good to see on this. Really, this is just a big momentum play. I think if you've been holding this the past few days, good job on holding this and riding the momentum to the upside. It obviously had a lot of potential on the daily chart, but the thing is that it's ran up so much that I would start to look for it to start to pull back, but I don't really know what they do. But whatever they do as a company, it's going to be really good, I would think, technically.
Yeah, so they've had a great run up. It sounds like you're doing great, but I would strongly consider taking profits on it because you just never know, especially with stocks like it is. It went from $5 to $21 in about a month. It can definitely have a very quick downturn, you can say. So,
yeah, and I see like a pretty good resistance here at around like $27, $28 on this daily chart. You can see the stock kind of bounced off of this level a few times.
For sure. So we have Pancakes saying, awesome work, guys. I love the Discord. What are your thoughts on Intel? It's around the same price as it was in March. Good time to load up on calls, question mark. What do you think?
Yeah, that's actually hilarious. She says that. I actually bought some Intel shares the other day. You can see they bounced off the 1000 SMA on a daily chart. And the last time they did that, they actually went up about 45%, which was nice to see. I cashed out at around 35% on that trade, but they are bouncing off of that again right now. I might expect them to go ahead and fall below this because their earnings were pretty bad. I'm getting in for the long term right now, but I'm actually averaging in. So right, I only have a quarter of my position bought right now. So if they continue to fall down to like $38 or $35 level, I will just continue to keep averaging in on this. I personally would not get any long-term calls on this yet. I would wait to see some momentum because with options, if you're taking a gamble like this, it's always better to be to be a little bit late than to be early.
True. Great insight there. With the next comment, we have Megan saying $2.3 million in the 210 strike Microsoft calls for August 7th. LOL, easy money. I was 1 week too late. My call got wrecked last week. So yeah, absolutely. So the Microsoft calls that we called out in yesterday's video, they obviously worked out great. So she was referring to the unusual options activity from yesterday's video, and that was the 210 strike calls that expired this week, August 7th. So those same calls today are sitting around, they're up about 500%, you could say, but they were called out on Sunday. So from the open price, they opened around, you could say around 650 and ran up to about 900. Right now, sitting around 800. So great work there. With the next comment, we have Maximus saying, thanks for the gold and silver analysis. So what are you thinking about gold and silver?
Yeah, gold and silver, I mean, they're still looking really good on a daily chart. It's just one of those stocks that I really think that gold and silver, you're probably going to have to trade GLD or SLV unless you're just going to go ahead and trade, the futures on it. But with gold, I really still like it to the upside, but it's one of those things that it's up so high right now that they're right around all-time highs, if not beating it right now. And it just such a steep rise to the upside that I would honestly expect them to come back down towards some type of support soon.
Yep, we have Sosa saying, excellent video. I am new here. I like it. Can you give me your opinion on Tesla?
Tesla looks awesome on a daily chart. It's kind of bouncing off the support that I've had on here for a few days. It's just one of those stocks that it's had a little bit of downward momentum over the past few days, and they've just risen so much over the past year that, right now, I personally wouldn't trade it. They've been flat over the past few trading sessions, and that's just something to me that I personally wouldn't trade it because they're kind of stuck in a little range, and I think they might just stay within there.
Absolutely. So with that being said, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market tomorrow?
Yeah, my big insight is I've been seeing a lot of articles lately saying the market is due for a recession and all types of weird stuff like that. And the thing is that, sometimes these articles come out and they might be fishy or they might be, just an analyst opinion or something like that. Really, I have a long-term support or a long-term resistance line drawn here for the Dow Jones Industrial Average here. And it looks like that they're actually getting ready to go ahead and break this trend line to the upside. We've seen it get denied off of it about 3 times now, and it looks like we've bounced off an SMA and we're just about to hit it again. So if these stocks continue to the upside like they did today, I think that we'll definitely break this trend line. And once it gets broken, I think that stocks could definitely continue up, especially the stocks that did not recover as much during the virus. But really, we're right on this trend line, so it could make for some key plays.
Yeah, and another big thing to keep in mind too is the stimulus package. So,
Yeah.
Trump definitely wants that passed sooner rather than later. So, the sooner we see, that get passed, the better it would be for the market overall because, some Americans are definitely still struggling right now. And, that stimulus package is definitely good for the economy, at least right now.
Yeah, definitely. People need that money. Like they've been saying in a bunch of articles, people are facing a bunch of evictions right now, and they need that money to go ahead and keep them going, especially the unemployment fund. I know a lot of people are going to get hurt if that unemployment fund goes away, because I think there's like, what is there, 30 million unemployed right now, something
I
crazy.
don't know. I think it dropped a little bit. I
Yeah,
haven't
it had to have dropped.
recently. So yeah, we'll see. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video to the end. Tom and I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving to the channel through the form of hitting that like button, commenting, and subscribing. We're just under 20,000 subscribers, so we would really appreciate it. You know, if you share the channel with your friends or you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. You'll see our daily videos on your YouTube homepage each day. So thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. As always, if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.